So I'm originally from Cleveland, Ohio, and I went to, okay, all right, hey, I'll take it. Everyone else hold your applause. Thank you. And I went to Syracuse University, and anyone? All right, well, someone's confused about where but that's close, I graduated from college in May of 2006, and I remember that day well. I remember my father saying to me, congratulations. Now what? What do you want to do with the rest of your life? And I said, what I want to do hasn't been invented yet, and I'm going to invent it myself. And he was like, okay, great, that makes me feel a lot better. But what I'm going to share with you today are a few lessons I've learned along the way in those years since I graduated college that have been the keys to my success thus far in doing just that, in creating my own dream job. First thing is, I've found out it's not just about taking advantage of opportunities, it's about creating them. Very similar to what Mark just spoke about. So I do many different things, and I'll tell you a little bit about some of that as we go on this talk. But last summer, I was traveling around the country with a good friend of mine, Adam Ward, who, if you've been to the Zappos headquarters and you see the amazing Lego mural that's there, he actually did that. And we were traveling the country for Butterfinger candy bars, writing, shooting, producing, directing, hosting content from a different city every day. It was a lot of fun. It was a great adventure. And we had 2 days off every month. That would just happen to fall in whatever city we were in. So I had 2 days off in Kansas City. Anyone from Kansas City? Okay, good. Well, Kansas City is a great place. There's, great barbecue. I love barbecue, but I didn't really need to spend 2 days there. So after 1 day off in Kansas City, I decided I'm a diehard NBA basketball fan, and the NBA Finals were going on at the same time, about 7 hours away in Oklahoma City. Game 2 of the NBA Finals between the Miami Heat and Oklahoma City Thunder. So I don't have tickets to the game, but I figure I just want to put myself in a position and see what happens. So we drive in our giant Butterfinger truck 7 hours to Oklahoma City for Game 2 of the NBA Finals. We're walking around outside the stadium trying to meet fans, see if we can find some tickets. About 5 minutes before the game starts, I luck out and I get a ticket to Game 2 of the NBA Finals for $100. That's like unheard of. You can't get a regular season ticket for $100. I am feeling great about life. I go to my seat and I am in the last seat in the entire arena. Literally, I can't see anything. I'm happy to be there, but I'm starting to get a nosebleed. So the whole first quarter, I'm hanging out up there, and I realize this isn't going to work the whole time. So I'm looking for any other open seats, but it's an NBA Finals game. There's no open seats. But I think I see one seat in the second row behind where the announcers sit. I'm not sure. So in the second quarter, I walk around the main concourse. I get a hot dog and a beer. My hands are full. It's a key. I walk right up to the usher, so I can't get my ticket. I see her name tag. Confidence is key. I say, Yolanda, oh my God, how you doing? Have you lost some weight? You were looking good, girl. Can you believe this? We're going to win it all. Oh my God, what a season. Go Thunder. I give her a hug. I don't hesitate. I keep walking all the way down to my courtside seat. So now I'm loving life. I am sitting courtside at an NBA Finals game for $100 when 8 hours ago I was in Kansas City having my 4th barbecue meal of the 2 days there. So I'm feeling great. I'm enjoying my time. And then finally someone taps me on the shoulder and says, excuse me, you're sitting in my seat. And so I stand up immediately, start looking for my ticket. Oh, I'm sorry, there must be a mistake. Really, I'm just trying to buy some time to find any other open seats nearby so I can quickly maneuver before drawing attention to myself. And I turn and I look and I see 5 rows up on the aisle, David Stern, the commissioner of the NBA, getting up to go to the restroom. So without hesitating, I walk directly to his seat. And I sit down in the commissioner's seat. Sitting next to him is a guy named Adam Silver. He's the deputy commissioner of the NBA, the vice president of the league. I know exactly who he is because I'm a big basketball fan. And before he has a chance to say, what the hell are you doing? I say, Mr. Silver, I'm a huge fan of yours. The second round of the NBA draft is my favorite time of the entire season. For any basketball fans, they know that's his one moment to come out and shine and read the picks. And he laughed, and I was like, I'm a diehard NBA basketball fan. I've been passionate about the game since growing up in Cleveland, watching the Mark Price, Brad Daugherty, Larry Nance days. I drove 7 hours of beer tonight for this game. I'm traveling the country with Butterfinger. Here's some Butterfinger coupons. He's like, who are you? What? I said, well, it's funny you should ask that question. And then we struck up a conversation for about the next 15 minutes where I told him a lot about myself and the crazy adventures I get myself into. And he's like, well, you're an interesting person, to say the least. So I gave him my business card, and his reflex, he gave me his right back. I thanked him for letting me stay there and not calling security. And I decided not to press my luck. I went up to the main concourse. Good timing, because I passed David Stern, the commissioner, as he was walking back to his seat. I said, Mr. Commissioner, good to see you. I just caught up with my old friend Adam Silver. Be sure and tell him Jason says hi. He's like, what are you talking about? Also, notice, you got to be prepared in these situations. All the fans are wearing all white shirts and blue shirts and white shirts and blue shirts. I made sure to snag an extra one so I can blend in wherever I had to go. So, fast forward to a few weeks later, I'm in New York City. I was hosting an event for the US Open, and I took this opportunity, that's where the NBA is headquartered, to email Adam Silver. And I reminded him who I was, and I said to him verbatim, at the risk of losing all humility, I know that at some point in my career, I'm going to work with you and the NBA. It's a lifelong goal of mine, and I feel myself inching closer towards it every day. If you would spend 5 minutes to sit down and get to know me a little better, I'd really appreciate it, and trust me, it'll be worth your time. He responded within 5 minutes. He said, Jason, of course I remember you. I'm still eating Butterfingers because of you. He said, I leave for the Olympics in a few days. It might be tough, but I'm going to see if I can make some time. His assistant emailed me with a calendar invite from 11 to 11:10 a.m., a 10-minute meeting. So I did only ask for 5 minutes, so you got to be very specific with what you ask for. So I went in, and it turned into an hour-and-a-half meeting. He brought in the head of marketing for the NBA, the head of social media, and to this day, I'm still in ongoing conversations. I actually have a meeting with the NBA this coming Monday with their head of marketing, discussing some marketing initiatives we can do together and potential on-air opportunities. So I know at some point it's going to happen, and hopefully it's sooner rather than later. And it was good timing. Adam Silver was just announced he's the next commissioner of the NBA starting this February. So that's about not just seeking an opportunity, creating an opportunity. I very easily could have enjoyed another day off in Kansas City, but I put myself in this situation. Another lesson, the biggest lie someone can tell you is that you have plenty of time. You don't. You gotta move fast because life is short, just like my speaking time here, so I'm gonna keep moving. So, I do many crazy things, and I moved out to Los Angeles about 4 years ago, and I got an email from a buddy who said Gillette is they're having a contest, looking for 2 guys with a good personality to make some comedy videos, and it's an amazing prize. You travel the country. It's called the Ultimate Summer Job. The deadline was the next day. So there was already thousands of entries. I feel like most people would be like, well, this seems cool, but what are the odds that I'm gonna enter this contest, make a video, win, the deadline's the next day? I called my buddy Adam, same one I mentioned earlier, and I said, all right, this sounds crazy, but we're gonna enter this contest and we're gonna win. So that day we brainstormed some ideas, we shot a video, we edited it, we put it up online, thousands of entries, ours made the top 3. We were flown to New York for a live final competition, 500 people in the audience and these celebrity judges. And long story short, we won. And it was called the Gillette Ultimate Summer Job, and that is exactly what it was. It was 25 cities in 6 weeks. We were driven around the country in charge of creating content from every major summer event, from the Baseball All-Star Game to backstage at the ESPY Awards. We got to drive NASCARs at 200 miles an hour, to lead the New England Patriots out of the tunnel and do the coin toss at midfield. We were on the Today Show and SportsCenter, hung out with Derek Jeter. I could keep going, but the audience will turn on me because you'll start to hate how awesome this was. It was incredible. It's incredible. We got paid a lot of money to do this. It was like, oh my God. So when it ended, I was like, oh no, I have peaked way too soon. What am I gonna do? I retire? We gotta keep this going. But instead of sending these Gillette executives an email begging them to hire us again, we sent them a video that would show them why they should continue working with us. Show, not tell. And we heard back from the vice president of Gillette within about an hour, and he said, we need to talk ASAP. 2 weeks later, they sent us to the Super Bowl as their Super Bowl correspondents. And over the course of the next year and a half, we transitioned from these 2 crazy contest winners to the on-camera hosts and spokesmen for Gillette, to then eventually they used us around some of their advertising agencies. They came to us to design and execute campaigns and contests for the brand. It was an amazing experience, and it all started from this crazy contest, just getting your foot in the door and then proving that you belong. But acting quickly and not wasting any opportunities. So after that experience, many people, friends, family, they were sending me all these contests. They were like, you did pretty well with that one. You should enter this one and that one. So I entered a few contests. And the summer of 2011, my friend Adam and I entered a contest, which I'll tell you about next. And it leads us to our next lesson. Fail early, fail often, and fail forward. There's a lot you can learn from failing, sometimes a lot more than from your successes. We entered a contest for Gain laundry detergent. Yes, everyone's favorite. Now, this was really random. We had to make a 60-second video and say, I use Gain and I smell like $1,000,000. So we put together what we thought was a pretty funny video. We got the hang of this, what we had to do, and we put it together and submitted it. And there was thousands and thousands of entries. And we were chosen in the top 25. So for 2 weeks, out of these 25 videos, whoever got the most votes over a 2-week period won $1 million. Yeah, for a laundry detergent video, $1 million. It was crazy. We had the same reaction. So I like to hustle. I like to do many different things. I stopped everything and focused on this Gain laundry detergent video for 2 weeks. I was in LA, where I live now, New York, Cleveland, my hometown. It was on CBS, NBC, and Fox morning shows. We had an NBA player, an NFL player, and a NASCAR driver tweeting about this. We were like, our video's pretty good. We're going to win $1 million for this video. We can't believe this. We're scamming the system here. The results come out, and we finish in second place in the country. The guy who won had the worst video, and I'm not just saying that because I'm bitter about this. All right, it was really bad. He was not even on our radar screen. We're like, how did he do this? And we're doing some research online, trying to find out what happened, and he had no press either. There was like one little local blog. We were like, this doesn't make any sense. So we do a little more research. We found out he's from Utah, and he was a Mormon, and the entire Mormon church voted for him every single day, and he won $1 million. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny now, huh? Yeah, real funny. Yeah. It's all right, it's all right. I converted. I'm a Mormon now as well, so I got these contests on lockdown. But don't feel too bad for me, because our runner-up prize, instead of $1 million, we did get a laundry basket with $40 worth of Gain laundry detergent products. So that's like 40 million smells. Joke's on them. Smell pretty good. Thank you. But as a result of this experience, I wasn't upset. It was fun, and it's obviously a funny story. I learned a lot, and actually my friend Adam and I, we came up with an idea for a television show based very similar to this crazy hustle of doing these contests, and we've been developing that and are pitching it to some networks and gotten some great feedback. So a lot came out of that experience that we learned from. The fourth thing, there's power in not knowing what you can't do. So back to the day that I graduated college, and my dad was like, all right, well, that's a nice answer. You're going to invent your dream job. How about, like, what are you doing next week? I thought a good way to avoid getting a real job would be to make a documentary film. I thought it'd be a fun little project. It'll take a couple months, and it'll ease my transition into the real world. I totally tricked myself. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. My friend John and Trader and I, who I graduated college with, we made a documentary called Swing State about Ohio, where I'm from, the role it plays in presidential elections, the fact that it always seems to come down to Ohio. Why is that? Only one president in the history of America has been elected without winning Ohio. Anyone know? Anyone know? You get some free Butterfingers if you know. No? JFK is the only president ever to be elected without winning the state of Ohio. Why is that? And I actually grew up in a political family in Cleveland and in Ohio, so it's a very personal look at what that world is like to grow up and live in politics. But this was probably the hardest I've ever worked, and the reason it was successful is because I didn't know what I was doing. I took every problem one day at a time, every challenge 1 minute at a time, and learned. I met with everyone possible, producers, documentary filmmakers, raised money, interviews, just soaked everything up like a sponge, watching 2 documentaries a night from Netflix. Redbox wasn't around at the time, or I didn't know it, I'm sorry, or I would have been renting there. But it was an amazing experience, and it proved to be a successful one, playing film festivals and screenings, and got a distribution deal. But had I known how much work it was going to be, and had I known all the challenges we would have faced, I probably wouldn't have done it. So the fact that I didn't know what I was getting myself into, I just jumped, I think is the reason I was successful with this project. The final story I'd love to tell you is to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Really, the more you can put yourself out there and commit and challenge yourself and stretch, the more you'll get out of it. And this story definitely exemplifies that. So back to Butterfinger. My friend Adam and I were traveling the country in this giant Butterfinger truck. That was my home for 6 weeks, pretty glamorous. We were in 25 different cities, and it was a great tour. We were making comedy videos for the brand and for Yahoo Comedy, and it did really well. The brand was very successful with the content we had created, and it was going to end at Comic-Con in San Diego. And for whatever reason, Butterfinger and Comic-Con, they had some bad blood. They didn't like each other too much. For the sake of time, just accept that fact, and I'll answer any questions later about that. But the Butterfinger executives said to us, all right, we hate dealing with these Comic-Con people. This is our last year going to Comic-Con, and we want to go out with a bang. We want to do a giant FU stunt to Comic-Con. And we were like, this is amazing. Yeah. Are you serious? This is awesome that a big brand with deep pockets is like, let's burn some bridges. We were like, let's do this. Yes. Okay. So we came up with a crazy idea. I don't know if you've ever been to Comic-Con before. There's just hundreds of thousands of fanatics there just going all out. Everyone's vying for your attention. It's not easy to do some sort of stunt or marketing ploy to get people's attention because everyone's doing that. Well, we came up with an idea. Saturday night at Comic-Con, the busiest night, 6:30 p.m., right as everyone is leaving the convention center and walking on the busiest intersection, a four-way stop. We decided that we're driving our truck, and my friend Adam's driving. I'm on the microphone, the loudspeaker. What's up, nerds? Who wants Butterfingers? And I'm throwing out Butterfingers. People are gathering around, going crazy for these Butterfingers. A crowd is coming around. We had a smoke machine that we rigged up inside the hood of the truck, and we activate it. Smoke starts billowing out of the hood. People are yelling, "You're on fire! You're overheating!" We're like, I don't know what's going on. We had a fuse rigged. We pull the fuse. Our truck stops in the middle of the street. We've now broken down our truck in the middle of traffic, in the middle of the street. Smoke's coming out everywhere. No one knows what's going on. People start beeping. They're getting out of their cars. We have started to shut down the street. People can't get around us. They're like, get out of here. What are you doing? Move your truck. We see a cop running up. We jump out, Adam and I, wearing our limited edition Butterfinger underwear, I should mention. We pop the hood, and we start getting, obviously, a lot of onlookers taking pictures. What's going on? Is this a joke? Is this real? The cop is like, move your truck. What are you doing? The whole city is backed up. This poor cop, his one job is to keep this one quadrant moving, and we've backed it up. We're like, we're sorry, officer. Our truck broke down. We don't know what to do. He's like, well, yeah, he's calling for backup. I'm like, it's okay. It's all right. I got jumper cables in the back. It's going to be all right. I make an announcement. I got jumper cables. I run to the back of the truck, and I open the two big back doors. But as I do it, we had a ramp rigged up inside with over 5,000 pounds of Butterfingers. They come pouring out on top of me into the middle of the street. Yeah, just soak it in. So yeah. Well, no one knows what's going on. Seconds after this, it's an all-out Butterfinger block party. Everyone attacks the truck for as many Butterfingers as possible. I jump up on the back of the truck. I'm throwing them out. People are going crazy. 2 minutes before, this was a fully functioning street in the middle of San Diego. Now, everyone is dancing like they won the lottery or the Super Bowl, grabbing as many Butterfingers as they can handle. Everyone's having the time of their life, except for this one cop who doesn't know what to do, except grab me and handcuff me in my underwear. Thank you. Yes, thank you, ladies. He drags me down the street, and the whole crowd starts chanting, "Free Butterfinger Man, free Butterfinger Man, free Butterfinger Man." They start a parade. They turned me into the Butterfinger martyr. This was amazing. I'm loving every moment of this. They drag me down the street. Everyone is on my side because I've given the gift of crispity, crunchity, peanut buttery deliciousness to San Diego. They throw me in the back of the cop car. Yes, thank you. They throw me in the back of the cop car, take me away. I was charged with littering, obstructing the street, and disturbing the peace. But Butterfinger was so happy because hashtag Free Butterfinger Man was trending on Twitter. And this event went viral in press photos all over the country. So yes, my parents are very proud. Very proud. Butterfinger was so happy with this. They got me a Butterfinger lawyer who took care of everything, smoothed it off, and it was a huge marketing success for Butterfinger. A lot of fun for me, and now I've got a great answer to have you ever been arrested. So It's very difficult to describe what it is that I do for a living, but it's not so much what I do, it's how I do it. And I thank you for letting me come up here today and share some of my stories with you. Everything that I do, I'm very lucky. I get to have a lot of fun. And thank you for letting me share that fun with all of you here tonight. All right.